right, what's up, fam? It's your boy T again. I got my boy Yak. And today, we're keeping it going. We're keeping it rolling. We got another special one for you guys. And we're hoping that this one stands out a little bit, right? Because we were bringing you guys a lot of gems, but at this point, this is a gem in its own. Not every day you get to hear these type of stories from people that are incarcerated, formerly incarcerated, still incarcerated.
Right.
So right now, we got my boy Brandon with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on, man? My name Breach. Yeah, my name is Breach.
Breach.
This is different.
All right. No, and I feel you. It's only right. You know what I mean? All the, the cameras and stuff make it, but we want to make it comfortable, whatever, just to tell your story. So I think a good starting point would be, tell us a little bit about yourself. Growing up, where you come from, what area you grew up.
Man, honestly, I'm a Valley boy.
I never would have thought that.
That's what everybody always assumes that. They automatically assume I'm from LA, but
Yeah.
I was originally born in Van Nuys. As a kid, man, I moved a lot. You know what I'm saying? I done went from Van Nuys to Texas to Dago, back to Van Nuys to, Valencia, you know what I mean? Just everywhere.
That's crazy.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So all the way up to the age of 7. Then I was actually raised in Santa Clarita, Valencia, over by Six Flags.
Damn. Okay.
I'm already tripping because you were already moving like that before age 7.
Mm-hmm.
You were like everywhere like that, bouncing back.
Yeah, everywhere. Like it's crazy because my dad's from Virginia, my mom's from Compton. You know what I'm saying? And being from Van Nuys and then leaving and over, like, it didn't really affect me like that because I never really got a chance to know people like that until around like 7 when I got to like Santa Clarita and we was actually stationed a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then I was actually able to like make a little friends, but then we was still moving in there too. You know what I'm saying? We've been moving on. I don't think we was ever really stable,
Got you. And what was there a reason for that, if you don't mind?
So, my parents was living paycheck to paycheck. You know what I'm saying? My mom, she maintained 2 jobs. My dad, he was a producer. He's a writer. You know what I'm saying? He used to write for Babyface. He did stuff for like certain artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My dad's, he was striving to, focus on music. You know what I'm saying? And music wasn't paying the bills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, child support is
It's a
a lot too.
motherfucker.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, my mom's, she took on the role of just, having 2 jobs, striving to, support the family. You feel me? My dad was doing this thing too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you're moving around, you're doing all this up until 7. What happens to that? When do you kind of, I guess, get stationary? When do you kind of just start jumping into your socializing? Because, moving around like that, I felt you when you said you didn't have friends.
Mm-hmm.
How can you make friends when you're jumping like that,
Yeah, it's difficult.
It's a tough.
It was crazy. I remember starting my school year off like in I think I'm Valley View. Valley View.
That's in the valley too?
It's that's in Canyon Country, I believe.
Canyon Country.
Yeah, that's in Santa Clarita.
Isn't that where like Wayside's at?
Hell
Right?
yeah.
That's what I keep
Los
thinking. I'm like,
Angeles,
man, I know that area. I just not for the right reasons, but I know that area.
Yeah, the county
Yeah.
jail. I grew up around there. It's a beautiful neighborhood. There's no type of like crime or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But it got to a point to where, growing up, like don't get it twisted. My dad is a great guy, amazing. You know what I mean? Strive to take care of what he had to take care of, but at the same time, like our relationship wasn't always the best, and it was times where I felt like I couldn't necessarily depend on him. You know what I'm saying? Which caused me to like venture off and do my own thing. And when it's probably different. It's how you say it. It's kind of different, growing up in a city where everybody got it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has it.
And that's what I'm imagining was like that over there.
Yeah, everybody had it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was good. Everybody had money. I grew up around a majority of white people.
Yeah.
So like their parents was completely established. You know what I'm saying? It got to a point where it's like, man, I don't want to be the only one. Like when it come to you know, asking me for stuff that I don't got nothing to, you know, show for it.
Yeah. Right.
Like just even trips, like it was just, I remember being in elementary and it was just certain spots I couldn't go because you had to pay a certain amount of money to go. You know what I'm saying? Like field trips and stuff like that. But even outside of that, just like friends and like just wanting to go to the movies, I couldn't even buy my girl a ticket for the movies. You know what I'm saying? Because it was that difficult.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, it was trying times, and like with my pops, I just felt like I couldn't, you know, ask him for certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of things going on between me and him, and I, like, you know, when you on the outside looking in as a kid and you see things going on with, you know, your dad and your mom, people think that the kids don't see that. You know what I'm saying? But like,
right.
you really do see that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can observe it and be like, oh, man, something's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, tell me what's going on, but I never had the courage to even ask.
Yeah.
You feel me? So,
And I think that story is, you know, a lot of people that we grow up with have that same story. Instead of telling or saying something about it, we just push through it like it's normal.
yeah.
You know, and then it isn't until we go to these other environments where we're like, what the fuck? You know, why is Pops asking, do you want to do this?
Right.
Hey, do you want to, hey, would you
Right.
like, you know, or whatever, even on the other end, or Pops is there. You know, I didn't have a Pop. That's what I'm saying. I didn't have a Pop. So it's, you know, it's some of those things people don't think about, and it takes you to get outside of your circle to realize that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was harboring anger because I you know, I felt things going on between, you feel me, my mom and my dad as a kid. You know what I'm saying? You hear the arguments or stuff, and then you see your mom's crying. Like, you observe all of this stuff.
Yeah,
You don't just not,
100%.
you know what I'm saying? You don't just be like, oh man, that's nothing. You
Yeah.
see this shit as a kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And my dad didn't know, but like, only reason why I know all of this stuff is because of doing time. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you incarcerated, you know, you have to think about all of this shit.
You had time to reflect.
Yeah, you have to think about everything. Like, what made you mad? And yeah, that was the main thing that made me just feel like, man, I can't speak to you. Like, I'm harboring anger against you, and you don't even know it. You know what I'm saying? It was vicious. It was vicious.
What trips me out right now is like where, I guess I see where it kind of already was kind of going wrong, where it's like you already started feeling like separated, right? Like
Yeah.
emotionally, especially with your family. And what trips me out too is when you talk about the whole trips, the field trips, like that shit hurts because I myself grew up where I can go on field trips no fucking problem. You know, I could, oh, you said $10? Yeah, I got you. I went, I had the time of my life and shit, but like I have seen kids like they stay back, but I never thought about fuck their parents ain't got no money or anything like that. I didn't think about
The
that.
reason
Yeah,
behind it.
You're like, yeah, you
Just
never
like,
think about that. Like
as a
deep down,
kid.
that shit hurts me hearing you now.
Yeah, it's like, man, what in the world? Like, you don't. As a kid, you like, man, I'm trying to go on this trip. Like, I don't and who ain't
Right.
going? It's like,
I'm trying to go
fuck
to the
you,
zoo.
Like, yeah, it's just like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, that's why I said like, only reason why I know this stuff is because I had the chance of like being incarcerated for 10 years to actually reflect on this shit. Be like, man, what really made me mad? Cause like, it's like, bro, I'm from the valley. You feel me? I didn't grow up in a crime infested area or nothing like
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying? And I went to jail for murder. You know what I'm saying?
Holy
Crazy.
shit. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm lost in between right now.
Right, so-
Because I want to know where it got to that.
So when would you say you started, or the shit started happening leading up to that? Where
Yeah.
was that? I'm thinking high school, like normal. You know, that's normally when you start finding yourself or finding your lane, whether it's for good or bad. But
Let's get some
what
pictures.
was the lead up to that, and then we'll go where whenever you got busted, we'll start with that journey as well.
All right, so growing up, my dad's discipline was kind of harsh. I say harsh because it was too much at times. You know what I'm saying? I just spoke to my pops about this a minute ago. You know, the discipline was vicious. You know what I mean? He used to put his hands on me and stuff like that. So, like, it got to a point to where it's like I was trying to find an outlet, you know, like gain some type of power back. You know what I'm saying? So I grew, I fought, you know what I'm saying? I used to fight a lot. You know what I'm saying? I was angry. I used to fight a lot. And fighting, turned into other things when I started hanging around other people. And I started hanging around other people in order to bring in a sense of income. And I wasn't bringing in that income the correct way. You know what I'm saying? I was robbing. I was doing things that, a nigga from the valley shouldn't even be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Was that in the valley, or you met a group outside of the valley, or something like that?
It was in the valley and it was outside of the valley.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like I got like, for instance, like my brothers, like I got nine siblings.
Is that right?
Yeah,
What?
9 siblings. There's all up. Cameron, Winter, Ronnie, Dominique, Christine, Ronika, Nicola. Hold up, man, I might be miscounting. It's a lot of, I mean, my dad.
I mean, you already went past 5.
Pops,
I'm tripping, bro.
Pops a Rolling Stone, man. Yeah, so my brothers is from Pacoima. You know what I'm saying? And
And Pacoima, I know people think of the valley, but Pacoima's just like LA.
yeah. So I'll venture out there. You know what I'm saying? And I'll kick it. You know what I'm saying? And I got my bro. He's like, I call him my brother. You know what I mean? My boy Silk. You know what I mean? He be over there in the 60s. You know what I mean? He's from over there. So just being over there, and you venture out, you see new things, and you see new ways that people get money. I mean, it's like, all right, you over here, like, and it's crazy because, like I said, like the spot that I'm at, bro, it's, I mean, it's a nice area. You feel me? But I can't maintain. You feel me? I can't do nothing. You feel me? To do what I'm supposed to do. So it's like, all right, whatever. And I started hitting licks, what they call flocking. Running in houses, taking certain shit, and find chains and pawn them to, you know what I mean, shit like that.
Is this like high school, by the way? Is like this?
Nah,
like
this started in like 7th grade. Nah, 8th grade. I say 8th grade. Towards like
you're
fifth
sooner
grade.
than that. Yeah.
You're like 14 at least. I mean, 14, 15 type deal.
Yeah, towards like 8th grade. I wasn't making the attempt to like, how you say it? I was trying to be like as low key as possible.
Right.
Like super low key, but at the same time, my dad was on my ass. Like, bro, what's up with these new clothes that you wearing? I for sure didn't buy you that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's
And
crazy.
I remember my mom one day came downstairs and she was like, your dad just found your backpack with all this money. Like, where did this come from? I'm like, man, I don't know what you talking about. Like, what are you talking about, ma? Like, I don't know what you talking about. And shit, I had to hear the wrath from him and, like stuff like that.
Did you ever get busted at that age?
Yeah, I got arrested.
So I can imagine Pops was going nuts over that.
Yeah. The funny thing is, he didn't really say nothing when that happened. He just gave me like the coldest stare. Just like,
Damn.
He came downstairs, he looked at me like, yeah, nigga, I already knew, but don't trip. We're gonna talk about this another time. But he never brought it up. I got arrested with my boy Tay Tay, and they ended up kicking us out. And then shit, I ended up going to jail right after that for murder. We ran away from my dad. Me, my mom, my little sister, my auntie, her 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? We ran away from my dad.
Was mom still in the picture at this point?
Hmm?
Was mom still in the picture at this point?
Yeah, me and my moms ran away from my
With
dad.
moms,
Yeah,
okay.
like
Damn.
we ran, like she came and got me and my little sister out of school.
Y'all like, we're gone.
Yeah, like I just, I was in school and it was crazy because I wasn't even, something was telling me something was wrong, and I went to the office because I didn't go to class. You know what I mean? I went to the office to go get a little tardy slip, and then my mom's in the hallway just, you feel me, crying hysterically. And I'm like, man, what's going on? And she just, she's like, we gotta go. So shit, we just left. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, you ain't get a chance to pack your bags or nothing, tell nobody, hey, I'm gone, you feel me? None of that.
Fuck
Just,
it.
you gone. We gotta bounce. You feel me? And shit, once that happened, we moved to Lancaster. Moved to Lancaster on I-15. And you gotta think about it, it's me, my mom's, my little sister, my auntie, and her 4 kids. I mean, that's 8 miles of feet.
You guys were deep,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like, we all ran away. So it's like I could sit here and just like, bro, I gotta find some type of way to look out, So after I got out of jail for the first one, I told myself I wasn't gonna hit no more licks anymore because I'm like, man, this not even me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been knew like certain stuff just wasn't me. It was just like, hey, look, this is helping me do what I want to do. I don't like depending on nobody. However, you feel me? Once that happened, you know, I became knee deep in just robbing. Started robbing. I got back to it. I started flocking, and shit, it brought certain crowds, brought certain people. You know what I'm saying? And negative attention.
Yeah.
And yeah, after that, I went to jail for murder and attempts.
So I'm kind of like wondering too what it looked like at home standpoint, because you said your aunt and everybody came with you. So even then, were they all that, like your whole family was staying with you all in the same house? So
basically, my auntie came to stay with me. I said stay with me. She came to stay with my mom. Yeah, I mean, my family.
Yeah.
My cousin, he was doing his thing out there too. You feel me? He was flocking and messing up, and so, you know, originally she was just like, man, I want to get him out, so they came over here with us, you know, and that's the coldest part about it. She came over there with us, you feel me, because he was in Moreno Valley. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, that's hella far.
Yeah, so he was staying in Moreno Valley, and, you know, it was chaotic out there and all of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So, you know, they came out here until they was able to find, the idea of them coming out here was to find another spot out there and, you know, find a better means of living, aside from how it was in Moreno Valley.
So that transition going to Lancaster too, I mean, I'm sure it was hard finding places, finding an apartment to stay, shit like that.
Hotel to hotel. It was hotel to hotel. It was crazy. It was hotel to hotel, bro. Shoot, and the cold part about it is, like, I had skipped a whole little chapter. Like, prior to that, my parents had got arrested before that happened. My parents had got arrested, and me and my little sister were sent into a foster home. That's how I knew about Lancaster. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. They had sent us to a group home in Little Rock with me and my little sister. First, they were threatening to separate both of us, and it was like, I mean, I ain't gonna say I changed the idea of that, but I told them, like, y'all not finna separate me from my little sister. You know what I'm saying? And then we was over there for a minute. Then my best friend Josh, mom was able to take us back in, and we ended up going back to Saugus, which is another part of, you know, Santa Clarita and shit. Damn. And we was over there for a couple months till my parents got back out of jail. Then they got us back. Then we was on vouchers, you know, just going through the whole little shit until my dad was able to get his shit together. Once we got our shit together, everything was cool, and then that happened. We ran away.
I want to touch on the you said group home, like you went to the group home, because like that's another experience in itself, being there in that situation, being around other like kids,
especially in Little Rock. Ain't nothing out there.
You were young.
Yeah.
Like, how long were you guys in that group home for?
I think like 2-3 months.
Wow, that's a long time. That's even enough.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
That was horrible. The chick, I'll never forget the chick, Margaret. I'll never forget. We get there, and we wake up or whatnot, and this chick is cooking for us. She cooked like some bacon and some eggs, and she put it on the counter. So my little sister, you feel me? She's walking with me. You feel me? It's like 3 other kids in there or whatnot. She come put the plate on the counter or whatever, and my little sister just looking at me like, bro, this not even cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, she looking at me like, this not cooked. Like, and so like she's looking at me to say something. So I'm looking at my shit. I'm hoping. I'm like, damn, I hope my shit is like, and it's like, nah, it's not cooked either. You feel me? So I'm like, damn, I don't want to sound like ungrateful. You feel me? Especially being in this situation. So I'm like, hey, Margaret, this, I don't think you cooked this right. She's like, what? I'm like, you know, the bacon ain't cooked. You feel me? It's like, it's still sizzling and all types of shit. You know what I mean? Like, for real. You know what I'm saying? It's still, you know what I mean? And she was just like, oh, well, you're going to have to figure out how to cook. You know, do all of this shit. I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? And she said, she told me to go in the refrigerator. Man, I go in the refrigerator, shit, that was the rest of the bacon. That was the only thing that was in the refrigerator. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? So, all right, so what am I supposed to feed my little sister? You know what I'm saying? So it was my little sister ain't have no toothbrush. So I go tell Margaret, hey, my little sister don't got no toothbrush. You feel me? Like, can we go to the store? She's like, let me see. I'm finna get my hair done. You know what I'm saying? And I'll let you know what's going on. Like, what? hold up, you gotta wait till you get your hair done before you gonna get my little sister a toothbrush? You feel me? Like, what type of weird ass shit is that?
Yeah.
So, I go back and I'm calling my bro, Josh, whose mom ended up taking us in. But I'm telling him, I'm telling him what's going on. You feel me? And his mom gets on the phone. She's like, hey, she gets a check for each kid that's in there.
Right.
You feel me? There should be no reason why she's even struggling to even buy a toothbrush. What type of weird shit is that?
Which is true, yeah.
So, you know, we was going through a lot in that home. So it got to a point where I told myself, I tell Brianna, I'm like, hey, look, man, like, in a minute we finna bounce. I don't know how I don't know what we gonna make happen, but just like, if Josh's mom can't get us, we out of here on everything I love. And shit, I just remember I prayed with my little sister that day, man, and sure enough, after we said that prayer, bro, by the grace of God, the very next day, Josh, my best friend, who I call my brother now because he became my foster brother, his mom called and was like, hey, we got approved. But they denied all my brothers, like my older brothers, my older sisters, they denied them. You get what I'm saying?
Well, the sister that was with you, though, you guys both got to go, right?
Mhm.
That's cool.
Well, no, I'm saying, like, okay, so when my parents got arrested, it was me and my little sister. You know what I'm saying? And my older brother Dominique, who just came out from Philadelphia. Now my sisters and my brothers, they're older. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
So what I was saying is they didn't allow them to take us in. They were trying to take us in, and they was denying them. And you would think that, you feel me, them being, you know, our siblings
Family,
and my blood
yeah.
related, that, you feel me, everything will be straight. But, you know, they didn't. So my boy Josh, he ended up, you know, he by the grace of God, he made it happen. You know?
That's some shit. So you're growing up, you're going through all this fucked up shit that a kid shouldn't really have to go through. What was the, maybe touch on the what's the incident that landed you
In jail.
and exactly the big one.
Uh,
And you could be, you know,
Nah, I
you don't
got-
have to be detailed. You could whatever you're comfortable with.
So basically, what happened is I ended up leaving.
And real quick, at this time, how old are you?
17.
Okay.
17.
So right there, you already been through a whole lot of shit.
Right, yeah.
You're still going through it. 17.
I'm 17, man. All right, so Lancaster was getting wild. You know
I
what I'm saying?
heard. People, man, they say Lancaster's the new LA.
Yeah, me and my cousin, we was doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it was getting kind of reckless out there. And, you know, we was finna go back to Valencia. I was finna go back to Valencia. You know what I'm saying? That's, you know, it's my hometown, basically. And, like, you know, I know more people out there, so I'm finna go out here and kick it for a weekend. Anyways, the whole idea, though, to be honest with you, was to go out there and to hit a lick. You know what I'm saying? And to come back and, you know, to help my family.
Right.
I went out there to, you know, try to make some stuff happen. And shit just went downhill with a robbery. A robbery happened. A robbery took place. And I played a part in somebody, you know, losing their life in front of their son.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. It's the reality of the situation. I'm not
Which you know
glorifying it.
now, you through self-reflection, you've had time to think back on it and know what it was, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it was wrong. You know, I had to look back and see how selfish as a kid I was. You know what I'm saying? Like you grow up and there's a lot of things going on and you just like, hey man, like you feel like the world deserves you to where you're not paying attention to everybody else's emotions. You know, and it's like you know, originally like I say, like certain things I did, I always knew it wasn't me because like I felt it. Like, when I robbed somebody, it was like you know, when you see the expression on somebody's face and you see how scared they is, it's like, bro, this shit is not cool, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where this dude just got his next check. I don't know if this is his last check. I don't know if this is the check that he's gonna use to
For the rent
you know,
money.
you know what I
and
mean?
the
Like
whole-
I'm telling you to empty out your pockets. Like this shit is traumatized. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah.
So it's like, you know, like I had to. You think about that shit. You feel me? And you realize, man, that shit wasn't cool. You know, and I don't glorify that shit in no way, shape, or form.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? I got arrested literally right after that happened.
I was gonna so that incident happens. Do you get a chance to go back to where you were at? Because you said you guys just went to go hit a lick. It wasn't supposed to.
Nah, not at all.
So right at the
Nah,
scene.
it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The situation happened in, Valencia.
Yeah.
You know, situation happened in Valencia, and I got arrested there. I was 17.
Same day.
Yeah.
Got you. Because, sometimes people go on the fucking run or they just don't get caught up. So you get busted that same night. What's running through your head at this point? Same night. I can just fucking imagine the roller coaster of emotions.
To be honest,
Adrenaline too. everything.
Adrenaline.
to be honest, like, I was more so thinking of what transpired.
Trying to fucking break it all down. Trying to figure out what just happened.
Right.
Yeah, like the first thing I did when I got in there, I did the why me shit. Like, damn, God, like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like, how did everything come up to this? Like, how did this even happen?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was thinking about, what transpired, man, with what I seen with old boy losing his life. You feel me? And hearing the kid, you know what I'm saying, like, scream for his father. You know what I mean? Like, that was the main thing. Like, I couldn't sleep. You feel me?
So nothing about the how deep in trouble am I really? None of that.
Nah, not at that point.
Yeah, no, and I feel you.
Not at that point.
Yeah,
Because, that's why I said, like, certain things that transpired wasn't me. You feel me? Like, you look at these situations and you just like, damn, bro, like you kept doing things like that. You feel me, was like against your heart. You know what I'm saying?
The morals, like your ethics.
Yeah, like it's not even you. You know what I mean? Like, what really like started that shit anyways? You know what I'm saying? Because like prior, like man, bro, it was more shit that led up to that shit. Like, you know what I mean? For me, you know what I mean? Prior to going to Valencia, you know what I mean? Just violence. You know what I'm saying? I can't speak on certain shit, but just the violence that I was indulging in. So it's like, I'm like, bro, I really took a left turn. You know what I mean? Like, I really took a left turn. And now, I'll say like a week into it, that's when when I had a Raymond, that's when it set in. When they was like,
so real quick, where they send you to at 17?
Sylmar,
Mary Jane
okay.
Randolph.
It's
So
called,
you go to the compound?
You're in
or
the
no?
compound.
You went to the compound
I
because
was
you're fighting a big
director of
case? Yeah. Damn.
Director dope file. You don't even fight your fitness. You know what I'm saying? Now, I guess they just passed the law where,
Yep.
It's good, but
17 and a half, I think it is, or something. You can
Yeah.
still 17 and a half and under, you could still fight your fitness. Fitness is basically
That's so badass. What is
the
this?
ability to stay in child court, to get prosecuted as a minor.
Like a juvenile case.
Juvenile,
Like,
yep.
yeah, I had just turned 17, to be honest, too. Like, my birthday was in August, and then I ended up catching that case in October.
Fuck, not even 18. Huh?
Exactly.
So what happens? You go through prelim. You're not even that. You get your arraignment. Your first court date. You're probably at the station, or no? You said you go straight to Sylmar.
Yeah, you go straight to Sylmar. I was there, man, and the first thing I needed was a phone call. But shit, by the time I got in there, it's like, man, I was in there at like 1 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody picking up.
right.
You get what I'm saying? So like, all this, Harris gave me a Bible. He was like, man, go to your room. You know what I'm saying? He just looked at me too, like, damn, like, you know what I mean? And I went into my room, and like, when you in a cell, like in juvenile hall, there's no TVs or nothing.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? It's a wall. It's a wall, a door, and a bed. So all you got is your thoughts. That's all you have is your thoughts to sit back and be like, damn, what transpired? What's finna happen? How am I gonna get out of this? You feel me? Like, what's going on? And
It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot, especially knowing what just went down. You're still trying to figure it out. Now they're talking about you're gonna go to court, and then they hit you with, I'm assuming off the bat, they tell you you're doing life, and you're like, what do you mean? I have no idea what the fuck that even means.
Arraignment was vicious because like you see your family.
Oh man.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you go through certain, like you would think that you're thinking of your case, but like the first thing I did when they brought me to court, I see my family. I see I can't touch them. I'm in a cage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a cage, and you see your family sitting there. I see my mom's crying, my little sister crying, I just see my family, and I'm just like, damn. Like now I realize how much of a burden I am. You feel me? When I wasn't trying to be a burden.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're still thinking of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But once that dude said your bail was like he said my bail was like 3.4 million or some shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Did you drop, like, because I be seeing, like, you drop to your knees type shit, like, you just lose all feeling. Did any of that hit you like that?
It just seemed unreal. The whole situation just seemed unreal.
Seems like some shit out the movies. Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like my
Damn.
lawyer, that's what it was. When my lawyer came to see me, that's when it was like, what the fuck is going on?
They hit you with the public defender off the bat or a
Oh,
state attorney?
Yeah, public defender.
Okay.
She come in there and she's like, you're fighting multiple life sentences.
Damn.
I'm just letting you know that now. She's like, you are gonna be in here for a while. You know, just
Yeah.
get, and that's how they bring it to you. And I'm like, man, and you a kid, so it's like, hold up, bro. No, I'm not. I'm not.
Like,
finna
what do you
be in
mean
here,
life? I don't even know. What are you talking
no,
about?
I'm not
Yeah.
finna be in here for no. That's out.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you talking about. I'm not finna be here that long. You get what I'm saying? And shit.
So how long were you in the halls for fighting that case before they? I'm thinking they had to bound you over to county after that.
Yeah, I was.
'Cause that's like a 2-3 year case minimum.
Yeah, I fought the case from 2011 to 2015.
Yep.
And from 2011 to 2012, I think, was it August? On my birthday, yeah, they sent me to the county on my birthday.
Straight 18.
You turn 18, you go to the county. And it was funny because I'm high hope. So when they come to my door and they knock and they didn't even let me know I was leaving. They come, they like, hey man, it's like 4 a.m. Hey, make sure you're ready. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, get your shit together. I'm like, man, I ain't got nothing to get. He's like, all right, get ready. I'm like, what? So I'm thinking like, oh shit, am I going home? Like, you feel me?
You don't know, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm not a negative thinker, so I'm like, hold up, man, let me see what's going on. And when he come to my door, I'm like, hey, what's going on? He's like, you going to the county? I'm like,
Damn.
Right.
Fuck.
Like, what the fuck?
nigga, what?
Like, that's where it really goes down. Like, that's the shit you
Like,
see.
I'm already fighting a lot in here anyways. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? In juvenile hall.
That's juvenile hall for you, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I don't bang, but I felt pressured. I was a pressure case. So
Pressure
like,
to do it.
Yeah, like
pressure.
if you bang on me and you tell me where you from and then you like niggas do extras.
Still
Like
trying
for
to
instance, like
press an issue,
like
whether-
oh
yeah.
you from where you on bang? No, I don't. All right, I'm from Wutu Wap though. All right, yep, yeah, Wutu Whoop though. You gonna keep saying your hood? Like, all right, so we finna get down or something?
Yep.
And after that, that's you know what I mean.
So what I'm tripping about, I just want to clarify. So you're telling me you don't even know your sentence yet. From 2011, you said to 2015.
Yeah, hell no.
You don't even know what's gonna happen.
This is the beauty of our judicial system. We have so whenever if I go kill someone, technically I am still innocent.
Technically.
But since we don't have the money that other people have,
Yeah.
we are bound to sit in county jail fighting my case for 5 years before I ever get sentenced. But when realistically, I'm still innocent till proven guilty.
Right.
So why not leave me out here to fight my case? But that's not the way it works. So the whole time you'll sit there 2-3 years, a year, not even people will be like, oh, how much time do you get? He hasn't even gotten time yet. You would hope that you end up in a situation where you're there 5 years. I've seen it. A guy gets 20, those 5 years count. And you hope that it works, but that's the difference, right? The haves and the have-nots.
It's certain times too where
You know?
you can be down there, you can be in there fighting your case for 5 years and they don't give you the time, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I've
you have
seen
to
that
start your
too. You're
whole-
right, bro.
You know what I
That's
mean?
scary
The
as
system
fuck.
is crazy, yeah. You know, the
Like,
system
not
is
knowing, you still don't know what's gonna happen with your life,
But
bro.
think about the
Especially in your
idea-
situation.
You know, in the movies they make it seem like, you know, like you see the dude go to court, and
Yeah.
you see trial, and then it make it
boom,
seem
like,
it
oh,
happened.
you got
no.
life
Yeah.
instantly type shit.
Nah, bro. Like there was times, bro. Like a nigga literally like you might shed a tear knowing when your next court date is. You know what I'm saying? You might go in August and they like, all right, we going on. Wutu was going on vacation, so we're gonna come back in November. It's
Yep.
like, damn, I gotta wait a cool 90 days to go back to court. You know what I'm saying? And like, yeah.
I know that's what it is. Think about it. Just sitting there, being technically innocent,
Right.
and having to sit there because you don't have bail money.
Yeah.
You know, with those type of numbers they throw at you. So they do give you a bail, but if your bail was $4 million, what kind of bail? That shit don't mean I got bail.
What is it, like 8-10%? You have to usually provide
10%.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
you go
but
to bail, it's 10%.
Fuck that. Okay, let's talk about the transition. The transition from now going to county. What was that
Yep.
like?
Oh man, what?
Hey, so how does that work? So you get there on a bus, you got your little bedroll,
exactly.
you know?
Oh,
Do they
man.
start yelling at you like, "Hey, youngster, you know what? How's that? What was that whole
Like
thing?"
you like there's music in the background, like dig it up on dig it up, like, as you're on the bus type shit.
Nah,
like, you know?
bro. It's when he told me I was leaving, it was me and my boy Bandit Foes from Rolling Hundreds. I'll never forget. Like, we both was like, you know, we ain't trying to show that we spook. So like, you know, he come out to get his oranges or whatever. And he see me, he's like, "Hey, cuz, you already know." I'm like, "Yeah." You feel me? And he pushed by, and you know, when we got on the bus, like, they didn't know. Was it a bus? It was a van. I think they took us in a van. They take you in a van because there wasn't that many people. It was just me, him, and I think it was somebody. No, it wasn't. I think it was a homie from Playboys too. But they took us in a van. We get there, and you sitting in this grimy ass holding tank for like a cool 2-3 hours. It's green, like it's like I don't know exactly where it is in the county, but
Oh, this is at the old county already?
yeah.
Okay.
Once you get there, it's like it's a grimy ass little cell. You know what I'm saying? You just sitting in there for a cool minute. It's all types of peanut butter on the benches. It's disgusting. It's like, man, don't nobody clean up in this motherfucker. So
Nothing. Hey, you wondering why everybody's running for the roll of toilet paper and to use it as
Man,
a pillow because you
what?
gotta be in there 3 days? You know?
Exactly. You know what I'm
And
saying?
you're like, why is he doing that? You don't know. You're new to the game. You know.
We was sitting in there for like I think 2-3 hours or whatnot, and then finally the police come get us. And like when they come get us, you know, they trying to intimidate us. Like, face the wall.
Oh man.
So we facing the wall. And he's like, "Oh yeah, fucking young street punks, huh?" Like just talking shit, you know. And you know, the homie, I remember the homie, he just laughing, and he's not laughing, but he like smiling, like, "Man, get the fuck out of here." And one of the COs is just like, "Man, what you think shit's funny? Hey, you gonna see. Where you from?" And I'm Rolling Hundreds. He like, "Yeah, all right. It's gonna be bad for you." Woo woo. Like, you know what I mean? Like trying to.
Oh my
like,
God!
Like, trying to scare them.
I already know
Yeah,
what
the police are
probably
doing
happened.
this shit. Yeah.
What?
And they
Police are
do
doing
some
that
of the
shit.
scandalous shit, which I'm assuming you're going with right now. You know, most of when you do that and you get on their bad side, they ask you where you're from for a reason, meaning they are about to put you in a dorm with all your enemies.
Yeah.
And they gonna run you back to back to back.
Yeah, wild shit. They do that, and then they take us to another holding tank. We in that holding tank for about, like 6-7 hours. And then he ended up going to Wayside, I think, right then and there. We end up splitting. He goes somewhere, I go somewhere. And
Did like your mindset change a little bit at that point?
Absolutely.
Like my one boy is gone. Like that.
absolutely, because you know you got a little accountability. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? It's like, you know, like I've always been the type of guy, like, you know, I'm not gonna let nothing happen to you if I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And bro's the same way. He was the same way with me in juvenile hall. So, you know, it's just like, it's like you. It's like, it's my dog. Like, you feel me? You finna leave, and I was like, all right, I'm by myself. Mind you, I'm a non-affiliate, so it's like, it's really serious. You know what I'm saying? All types of shit can happen. So,
What was non-affiliate exactly mean?
non-affiliate means you don't bang. You're not from nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Also, all right.
Like,
So
he
you
was
can
from,
imagine, where do you go? Like, what do you know, especially if it's your first time, you're just like, all right, who do I? You, even though you will probably already know because you know who you hung with in the street, most of the time that'll work, but still, it's a tough fucking spot to be in.
Yeah, man,
To
and
the
he's gonna
dorm.
leave, and it's like, you know, I see him leave. So basically, they called him before they called me. So, you know, like, they kept coming by every certain amount of hours and was like, hey, they'll say your name, and then you leave. You know what I'm saying? So once I seen him leave, I think I was there for like another 2 hours, and then finally they called my name. So they give you a roll, and then you go in there. I landed in 5,700. I landed on the 5,000 floor, and yeah, that was vicious.
How was it? Just walking in that motherfucker.
It was vicious because, you know, when you go in there, it's like I remember it was somebody behind me. He like, hey, bro. And he like, what's up, my nigga? He like, hey, look, he's like, just in case if I got a squabble, a nigga, hey, make sure you got my, he said, let me use your shoes. You feel me? He's like, mine's is too big. And
Just
he
like that,
he's like,
right
all right,
off
for
the-
sure. He's like, say no mas, I got you. And once I heard that, I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, damn, I don't know, you know what I mean?
That's tough. Yeah, like what the
Because
fuck does
I-
that mean for me? Yeah.
I'm not from LA, so like I don't bang, you know what I'm saying? And it's all types of shit that I know about, but it's like things can happen to you as well. It don't mean just because you don't bang that certain shit's not gonna happen to you. So, anyways, I get in the dorm, and when I get in the dorm, you know, they go down by the line. They like, where you from? Where you from? Where you from? Oh, it was somebody from somewhere. I don't want to say. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
he was like, hey, you got phase.
Oh,
You got phase in the
man.
back. He like, oh, on the set, I'm with all that. And he went back there.
Ran his fades, huh?
You know what I'm saying? He had like 3 of them, and he was cool. And then, you know what I'm saying, I was there for like a couple of days. I was out the way, you know, and then it was a situation that happened with me and somebody else. I was playing spades with him. I told bro he reneged, and he's like, man, the dead homies on your renege. You know what I'm saying?
That's already you.
So
already
you
know.
saying dead
Yeah.
homies is supposed to just negate the fact that I just told you, you feel me, you renege. And then I'm looking at it in a perspective now, like, bro, we around grown men now. So your reputation is all you got. I can't just let you just say you put some on the dead homies and then just negate the fact that I said this.
So I want to take a step back real quick to kind of just clarify. When
Yeah.
anybody says some shit like that on dead homies, that was exactly what is that?
So
It's
so
not-
nowadays
it's
it's
not, it's
a
not
little-
always serious. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll hear people like play around and be like we can be joking and nigga be like, oh yeah, on the dead homies.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm
Because I've
saying?
heard that. That's what.
But like if the like say for instance we talking, you know what I'm saying, and like we arguing, and you hear somebody be like, man, on the dead homies, woo woo woo, like now it's
I'm kind of.
that's
It'll be.
serious,
He's
you know what I mean?
setting you up at that point to say, "Are you gonna keep it going? Are you about to say something back?" Because at that point, I already basically put my foot down and let you know this is it.
I
right
get
here.
you.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
a
it.
challenge, basically.
Yeah.
You say
It's like,
anything
bro,
else,
like,
that's
fuck
a
what you
fade
talking
around.
about.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. Like, fuck
Okay.
what you talking about. It's, I put it on the dead homies, nigga, that's over with.
Right.
That shit, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
for sure.
But as a
Alright.
man, right? That's what Brandon's saying. Like, as a man, though, should you were thinking, do I
Yeah.
let that go? We're a grown men. I'm in the county. It's my first time. Just came from the halls. 3 days in, 2 days in. You said a couple days.
Nah, this actually the same day.
Damn.
What the
It's the
fuck?
same day, yeah. It's
Fuck.
on my birthday, it's on the same day.
Damn.
That's crazy.
It's my birthday, yeah. I'll never forget. Because the whole time, I'm just like, I kept saying, I'm like, that's my birthday, nigga, in the county. Like,
Right.
I'm
That's crazy.
18 years old for a birthday present. They like, hey, you in the county. You feel me? And like, before you go to the county, like, you know, all you hear is like, when you in juvenile hall, that's all most niggas is preparing for. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That's the main reason why most niggas is fighting, because it's like, hey, it's gonna come a point in time where you fighting grown men. You know what I'm saying? So you better if you don't know how to fight, or if you feel like you know how to fight, you better know, like, you better get better at that shit.
learn,
Especially if you
yeah.
bang. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I don't bang, so I didn't too much have to worry. Of course, like when certain situations happen, I handled it, but like it wasn't a situation where it was just like every single day I'm fighting. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, cause I stayed out the way. But that situation, once he said like on the dead homies, I'm like, you know what? Let me get up, man. I'm finna get up and bounce. You know what I mean? I'm like, don't trip, fool, it's straight. So I'm getting up and I'm walking away from the table. As I'm walking away from the table, he like, wait, is you tripping or something? And he stood up.
Oh, he was trying to
now
say
when
you
somebody
wanna-
says
man.
you tripping, it's another way. It's basically you
Yeah.
want to get down. That's basically what that means. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna turn nothing down. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
alright for sure. Let's say come to the back. We go to the
Push
back.
the racks, huh?
Yeah, we go to the back, and I go back there, you feel me? I do my Dougie. As I'm doing my Dougie, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else is coming right after him. You know what I'm saying? I hear it. As I'm fighting him, I hear like, oh, he on the set, I'm finna get next. And I'm like, what? You hearing this while you're fighting, though. You know what I'm saying?
So you just like, the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, man, oh, man, all right, for sure. So I drop this guy. I drop him. Now I got another fight. You know what I'm saying? Immediately, right
Which is
after.
probably his homeboy.
That's
Of course.
crazy.
Same hood.
Immediately,
and
right
they all
afterwards.
want to line you up, you know.
Immediately, right afterwards. So, right afterwards, boom, I'm fighting him. This nigga was kind of big, you know what I'm saying? I had a very hard time with him. You know what I mean?
It's a
Like,
fucking adult. You just
yeah.
turned 18. You're probably a
I
big
had
motherfucker that been in the pen, lifting.
Yeah.
That's
you know,
crazy.
It was vicious. I had a very hard time with him, and then I had another fade after that, and yeah.
Bro, I'm overthinking about your
Crazy.
stamina. Like, I'm like, damn, my guy cannot be going that long for real.
Well,
I mean-
that's why burpees and all that, but I know that fresh definitely stamina's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, in the middle of fighting, it's like, you know, I don't think you're too much thinking about that. You're just like, man, no, you're just fighting. You're in a moment.
It's not even like
You
fighting
are-
like for your life type shit. Like, it is not even
no,
like.
you are fighting for
Damn
your
near.
life.
Like-
You don't want to fall. You fall.
The whole time I ain't gonna lie, like, for me fighting, it was like, the second fight was more, I was more nervous to fight on the second fight because it's like, damn, I hope nobody run up and like, you feel me, hit me from behind or
Go for
anything
you,
like
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm fighting this nigga and he's from this gang. What, you know what I mean? What's gonna stop the next nigga from being like, all right, I'm gonna fuck waiting for him to get done. I'm gonna just, you feel me, knock him out. You know what I mean? Because I've seen that happen before. Somebody's doing his thing, you feel me, and then somebody come up and just sleep him. You know what I mean? While he's not even looking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's over there asleep. You know? So, yeah.
So that was your intro to the county.
Yep.
So this goes on for what, 3 years? You said,
Yeah.
give or
from
take?
2012 to 2015.
fighting your case, moving dorm to dorm.
Mm-hmm.
When right before you were getting sentenced or that came to an end, did you know? Did you know the case? Did the lawyer tell you like, hey, you know what? They ain't gonna be no more redates. Where you
Nah,
either,
it's
you
like
know,
I went to trial.
you took it to the box.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went to trial. I wasn't finna.
What type of deals were they throwing at you? Is that why you
My
took
first
it?
deal was 25 to life.
Oh, take it to the box. Yeah, take me to
so
trial.
it was
eh?
like, oh, no, as a matter of fact, they offered me 25 to life. Then they came to me about like a year later or so. They offered me 40 to life. And the coldest part about that situation is when my public attorney lied to me and told me that my mom and my little sister are okay with me taking a deal. You know what I'm saying? So I called, like, when you're in a county jail, you get what's called they'll give you a pass.
Mhm.
So they gave me a pass. I went down to see my attorney. I went out speaking to him. Speaking to her, excuse me. When I was speaking to her, she's like, I got a deal for you. I'm like, okay, for sure. But how she said it made it seem like it was going to be like a cool deal.
Sweet deal, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And she's like, 40 to life. Like, what the fuck? Immediately, like, I was furious.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What you mean? She's like, 40 to life. Like, look, my last client, I said, I'm not your last client, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn.
She's like, well, your
40
mom and
to
your little
life.
sister are okay with it. I'm like, my little, man, what? She's like, yeah. So in my head, I'm like, she's playing. My mom and my little sister would never be like, hey, take that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So,
Doesn't make sense. Yeah.
not at all. So,
Especially them knowing like how the system works and shit. They
yeah, and
definitely
I went,
aren't gonna say
Yeah,
something.
that's
I went back.
insane.
I went back, I got on the phone, and the first thing I did was call my mom. I called my mom, my little sister. I'm like, hey, I know this ain't real, but I got it. I'm just calling it, like, are y'all, like, what's going on? She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look, she came and told me to take a deal for 40 to life and said that y'all was cool with it, and my mom went ballistic. My mom don't cuss or nothing like that. She started tripping. You know what I'm saying? She's like, what the fuck? Like, wilding. So, yeah, that's when I knew it was real. I'm like, okay, so we had a court date, and I talked to one of the jailhouse lawyers in there. He said you could do what's called a martyred hearing, where it's just you, the judge, and your lawyer in order to fire your lawyer. So mind you, bro, like, I'm in jail from 2011 to 2013, bro. I probably seen that lawyer at that time like 6 times.
That's fucking scandalous.
You know what I'm saying? She's
Yeah.
coming like every once in a blue moon. And I'm just like, you know what I mean? So when that happened, I'm like, all right, it's over with. You feel me?
Did you ever try to get a state appointed?
That's
during
what I
that?
tried to do.
Okay.
When we went to court, I asked for what was called a martyred hearing. What they do is they order everybody out of the courtroom aside from you, your lawyer, and the judge. So the judge was like, all right, Higgs, speak. I said, look, man, I said, I don't believe this woman is in my favor. I said, she doesn't come to see me. Every time she sees me, she talking about how I'm gonna get life. I said, she tried to get me to take a deal for 40 to life. Then she lied to me and told me that my mom and my little sister are okay with it. I called my moms and my little sister, and they said they didn't say that. So she lied to me. You know what I'm saying? Which shows that she's not in my best interest. I would like a state-appointed attorney. He was like, is that it? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, I'm denying your motion. I do believe she's in your favor.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he looked me dead in the eye, seen what I was saying, and was like, yeah.
Like in a split second, not
Yeah,
even fucking.
It didn't bother him. what I said didn't bother him. He was just like,
What court was this at?
San Fernando court.
Damn, they don't play in San Fernando.
I'll never forget that. Cause I was just like, man, what? I'm like, bro, did you not just hear the fact that I just told you she lied to me to try to get, or what if I would have took 40 to life? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if I would have believed that my mom, my little sister wanted me to do that? And if I knew that this was going to make them be at ease, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, yeah.
I just took it. You know what I mean? Like, what type of shit is that? So,
You would have still been in there on some bullshit.
yeah, because she lied to me. But he didn't take that into consideration. He said, no, shit, I was distraught. I was tripping. I down there tried to throw a chair and all types of shit.
Damn. Shouldn't help probably the situation, but either way.
Right.
So from there, what happened after that then?
All I knew is I'm going to trial. That's all I knew, but I knew I needed a new lawyer. I'm very spiritual. You know what I mean? I believe in God, for sure. I went back. I was distraught when that happened. Mind you, bro, like, my mom, I can hear the pain in my mom's voice every time I call her, you know? And, like, that shit bothered me. You feel me? So when I got back from when I got back from court, I remember sitting on my bunk. I'll never forget. I'm sitting on my bunk, man. I'm damn near like, shit, I'm boiling. I ain't gonna lie. I was crying. I'm like, man, this ain't cool. And a book fell, and I grabbed the book after I was praying. I'm telling God, I'm like, man, this shit seemed impossible. I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to fight. You talk about faith without works is dead. I'm over here trying to get a new lawyer, and they not even trying to help me. Like, what am I do? Boom, I grabbed the book fall. I grabbed the book. It says nothing is impossible. So I'm like, okay.
That's fucking crazy right there, though.
Everything I love, I never forget.
You just told yourself those words that you're trying to figure out, trying to come to, and then you get hit with that.
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
crazy.
So I'm like, all right, something got to be. I just told God, I was like, all right, whatever. So I put the book back where it was. Yeah, I mean, and I try to go about my day and my week as best as I could. That following week, man, I'll never forget. They called me for an attorney pass. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, damn, I gotta go see this chick.
And the same
after I just try to find
bitch
out.
you just had issues with.
I'm like, she's finna be my lawyer right now. I'm like, so I go down there. I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go down there, and they told me I had a booth. I had to go into the booth. So like when you have an attorney visit, you can either have an in-person visit or you'll go into like these little booths.
Like you see in the movies type shit, like take over the phone type shit? Okay.
Yeah, and well, she's not there. I mean, yeah, they're not there. It's like a TV. You know what I'm saying? Like FaceTime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, in LA County Jail. So he's like, man, you're in the TV. Go to booth like 2 or whatever. Boom, I go over there, and I'm waiting, and it come on, and it's this dude that's there. So I pick up the phone. I'm like, hello. He's like, hey, Mr. Higgs. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? He like, my name is Michael Shinso. I'm gonna be your new lawyer. I'm like, what? He like, yeah. I'm like, okay, for sure. I'm like, you Jewish? You know, Jewish is the best lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, man, no, but yeah, I'm Jewish. I'm like, okay, for sure, I'm good. Like,
we in the money now.
You
We
know
good.
what I mean? So, sure enough, I think shortly after that, I went to trial. I got 8 not guilty, 4 guilty. In trial, I got what's called a hung jury.
Hung jury.
You know, anywhere else you get that, that's grounds for an acquittal or to leave. In California, you can get 3 or 4 or 5 hung juries, and you still gotta fight your case. So, after going through trial and all of that, you know, I had to go back and fight my case again. You know
They basically refile and do all that all over again. You don't even.
Hold on.
That's
So I'm
some
trying
shit,
to get this
yeah.
real quick. Ground jury, what is that exactly?
hung jury.
Or hung
jury
jury.
means, all right, so for instance, in my case,
It has to be unanimous.
after the evidence was presented, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever they thought.
Mm-hmm.
After that was presented, you have 12 people in a box, and you know they're all supposed to come to an agreement. You know what I mean, or whether or not who they think is guilty, or you know not guilty or whatnot. In my case, I had 8 not guilty and 4 guilty. Them 4 people who voted me guilty, they wasn't trying to move. They wasn't trying to budge and say, oh, fuck it, not guilty, then let him go. They chose this. They was like, nah, I think he's guilty, and stuck with that.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So that was called out. They gave me a hung jury on that. So then the only charge I beat was conspiracy to commit murder. That was the only charge they came to an agreement upon, and I beat that, all 12 in a box.
Which is kind of good in the sense that they can't retry you for that one, but I had a brother that just went through that. They just filed another charge on him, equally as bad. You know what I mean? So it's not always, and that's another misconception in the county. Everybody thinks you go to you get a hung jury 3 times, you go home.
Yeah, everybody
Hell
was
no.
saying that.
Everybody
No,
says
that's
that.
a
Yeah.
lie. That's absolute. That's
Yep.
a
Like
lie.
three strikes you're out type
They
shit.
can file as
Yeah.
many times as they want. They can refile as many times
Yep.
as they want.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, right? Because you've heard that over and over. Those are like those little like jailhouse dreams where you're like, oh, I hope if something happens at prelim, if they don't do this.
Oh yeah, mistrial.
little,
Like,
you know,
just like you'll hear certain people be like, "Oh, just yell some shit during
yeah,
trial."
shit like that.
Now, I was told that.
Wait, what?
So look, for instance, right? They used to say like, if your trial is going bad, just yell some random shit, like some wild shit, like, "Oh man, I'm fucking my lawyer." You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They gonna be like, "Oh, mistrial." You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta say some wild or not wild, but like, it has to be something pertaining to the case, obviously.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, it's called a mistrial, and they start your whole trial over again. You get what I'm saying?
Which would mean, do you get a brand new jury and all that shit?
Yeah, you got to start all the way over.
You start all over.
That's the whole purpose of somebody doing, some wild shit.
Yeah. Peanut butter, just grab it.
Like
Act
what?
like you're about to eat it.
Yeah, I mean, some wild. You got a lot of people that try to go play the crazy role. You know what I'm saying?
Right, because I've heard like that's the thing too, like saying like trying to go and say you're crazy or go, because it's well, how's that trial gonna go? They're gonna say
A lot of times those dudes get found guilty. It just prolongs the inevitable. I've never seen it.
They go crazy too.
Yeah.
Because
They go crazy, acting crazy.
Psych meds. So they actually end up going crazy.
oh, I see.
They be in the yellows. You see them like when we on a bus, like when you go to court from LA County, they're in the yellows. They'll be in the cages. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell when they crazy. Like they stink, all types of. You know what I mean?
Talk to themselves.
Yeah,
all kinds
talking
of
to
shit.
themselves. You know what I mean? You don't know if they playing a role, but like you can tell when somebody's out of it. You know, trying to beat the murder or whatever.
So how much time do you
So-
actually end up getting then after?
After that, I took 16 years and 8 months.
So real quick, that's because you got the hung jury, and I'm assuming that puts you in a better position
No.
with the court, where they wanted to offer you a little better deal.
Well, yeah, it does put you in a better position, but at the same time, it's like trial is hard.
Yeah.
Like trial is probably like one of the most difficult things I've ever been through in my life. You being painted for an incident that transpired versus the whole, at that time prior to me being arrested, I was 17 years old. You being judged on one event that transpired, you know what I'm saying? And you're being painted as this monster. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's what it is. They're if they paint the picture, they got it. That's all. That's what trial is. Whoever paints the best picture wins. You get what I'm saying? So like, you hear all types of shit like, oh, this dude is a monster and this and this and that. Not justifying what I did, because for sure it was wrong. But like, it's like, bro, you don't even know why I was doing the things I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't glorify half the shit I did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't like the fact that it transpired, but it's my story and it's what's you know what I mean? It is what it is. But you don't want to go back through that shit again.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to watch, that's what really changed me when I watched that little kid get on the stand and speak about him losing his father. At first, I ain't even gonna lie to you. When I was incarcerated, it was about me getting out, and that was my mindset. Like, man, I want to get home. I want to get back home to my family and cherish my family. The whole time, I'm not thinking like, bro, you played a role in this kid losing his father, my nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then when I watched him get on the stand, it was crazy because it was like, the DAs, they got cold little tricks. We had an argument the day before about allowing this kid to go on the stand because he felt, they felt like they had enough sufficient evidence, to convict me.
To do it without the kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the DA is pressing, you know what I mean? Like, hey, man, we should bring him. And it's like, bro, you don't need to bring him. There was tons of witnesses. This shit happened in broad daylight. There's no reason for this kid to relive this traumatic experience.
No.
Anyways, the judge, he's like, nah, of course I'm gonna grant it. So, the kid comes on there, and first thing I notice, I'm very observant. The first thing I notice when that kid comes in, it's like, I know he lost his father. So where is his mom when he comes in there? They ask him, like, who's his legal guardian? You know what I'm saying? And what his mom wasn't there. So the first thing I analyzed in my head is like, all right, obviously if his mom was here, meaning alive, you know what I'm saying, she would be there to watch her son, you feel me, talk about this type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she wasn't. So the first thing I did, I'm like, damn, not only does this dude not have a mother, but I'm also a reason.
I didn't even think, right as you're saying that, that didn't dawn on me.
You know what I'm saying?
Like his mom, maybe she's not, because he did not know, maybe that was all he had was Pops. I didn't think about that.
You know, so they bring him in there, he gets on the stand. They're trying to how you say it, help him get
The
into
words
it.
out.
You
Like,
know,
right.
So the first thing they do, like, man, what's your name? You know, he says his name. Then they're like, what's your favorite color? He's like, green. I'm like, I'm like, what? That's my favorite color. You know? And he's like, what's your favorite animal? A cheetah. I'm like, huh, that's wild. That's my favorite animal too. So automatically, I already got a connection because it's a kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like, I hate the fact that this happened to him, you feel me? And then he goes in and he explains the story. You know, and he talks about it.
Damn.
And he explains it detail by detail. Man, the kid, at that time, bro, he's probably like 7 years old. At that time, telling what happened. So, mind you, I didn't go to trial until I think it was either 14 or 15. I took my deal in 2015. I think I ended trial in 14. You know what I mean? Like, he's telling what happened, bro, and at the time, he's probably like 7 years old at 2015. So when it happened in 2011, what does that mean? How old was he then?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. What's that at
3 years old?
Yeah.
4 years old, bro. You know what I'm saying? Damn. So I'm putting all of this shit together, you know, in my head and just listening to him. I listened to him tell the traumatic experience, and it's just like, at that point, I didn't too much care about what transpired as far as me getting found guilty or not. It was just like, damn, that's fucked up. Yeah, I mean, like, I really played a role in this nigga, this child losing his father, you know what I'm saying, who tried to save somebody's life and was getting robbed. Let me put that out there, because his father was a hero. He made an attempt to save somebody's life and was killed as he was trying to save or prevent that from happening.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And the
Yeah,
son seen
yeah.
the whole thing. Yo, Papa, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean,
That's
Yeah.
crazy that you had the even sitting there through trial, you're not thinking just me. You're like, you know what, I fucked up. I had my role. you
at
know?
that point,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's why I said, like, I realized how selfish I was. I realized how selfish I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, the talks I could have had with my father then, I didn't choose to have. The talks I could have with my brothers, or, you know, just people in general, and speak to them. You know, because I realized, like, I just spoke to my father, I think, it was right before my birthday on August 15th. I spoke to my dad about how I felt the discipline was growing up, you know, and how it affected me. And I spoke to him before about it, but I never went into detail, you know, like in Vegas. You know what I mean? How, like, my mom came in and tried to interrupt it, which was when he was, you know, punching me in the face, you know, grabbing my throat, and, like, it was, I mean, like, this isn't, you know?
Yeah.
And I had wrote a letter. I wrote a letter and voiced it to him because I couldn't speak about it. I was too cowardice to speak about it. And then I finally spoke to him about it, you know? And he received it, you know what I'm saying? He received it. And, like, you know, I didn't tell it to change his mind, you know what I'm saying, in regards to things that's transpired. Like, I just told him because I needed to get that off my shoulders, because, like, you know, when you grow up as angry as I did, you got to figure out where that's coming from. And once you figure out where it's coming from, you have to address it. You have to face your demons, and you have to leave it at where it's at in order to grow, in order to become a better individual. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I told my dad, like, I was confused because, like, you showed me love. You showed me tremendous love. And out of nowhere, you'll snap within a finger. You know what I'm saying? And put your hands on me and beat on me like I'm some enemy on the street. You know what I'm saying? And it bothered me. So I never was able to voice that to him. So I had to write it in the letter. And I told him, I said, man, look, just listen. And, you know what I'm saying? I read it to him, and he received it, you feel me? And it was dope. But you think about that, and you think about this kid, and it's like, damn, I'm able to tell my father this. You know what I'm saying? And he don't.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I realized how selfish I was. I super realized how selfish I was, and in that moment when I seen that kid get on the stand, it was just like, damn, you know, you gotta look at things different, bro. You gotta look at life from different perspectives. You can't just automatically just feel like the world owes you, because the world don't owe you, bro. Like nobody owes you nothing. Like everybody's supposed to strive out here and get it, hard labor or whatnot, and reap the benefits. You know what I'm saying? And I was cheating. You know what I'm saying? I was robbing. I was, you know, around people. You know what I'm saying? And doing crazy shit. You know, and shit that, like, honestly, like, you consider me like a fuck up coming from where I came from, like, bro. You know what I mean? Like, being from Valencia, bro. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't, like, who from Valencia is gonna go to jail for murder? You know? It's a lot of successful people.
Do they have hoods in Valencia? I know that's a sidebar, but
Oh, hell no,
Oh,
bro.
okay.
It's like another Beverly Hills over here.
you know, Canyon Country has a hood.
What?
I swear to God, I met one of those.
Oh, you
dudes
know
in the
what?
county.
I did meet that shit.
Yeah, I
in
was
the
just
county
surprised.
jail,
Yeah, I
New
was like,
Thresher or somewhere.
All that,
Like
yeah. I'm like, man,
that
I
shit
don't
don't
know.
make no sense, bro.
I mean, they're hoods out there. Just for us being from LA, we just never would have thought that there's, you know.
It's
That's
Like
all
Big
it
Bear
is.
has, like, what if Big Bear
Right,
had a hood,
it's
like,
just-
type shit, like.
It'll be that surprising, you know. That's it. I mean, no disrespect, you know.
Right,
but
right.
yeah, no
Yeah,
disrespect.
for,
Yeah.
I know my shit, sorry.
but that's how I feel, right? You would just be a little surprised, like, oh shit.
Yeah, you don't get no stripes either, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get no stripes being in Santa Clarita banging, bro. There's no type of stripes.
Nothing. Over
Nah,
in
bro,
that area.
there's no type of crime going on. That's why I said, like, I'm considered a fuck up based on the fact that, like, I'm from Van Nuys, you feel me, like, and was raised out there with, you feel me, a nice area. I could have took advantage, you know what I'm saying, and went another route, but, like, I just chose to be selfish and not, like, you know, depend on myself and find my own route. You know what I mean? Like, you could look up that shit right now, the crime rate in Valencia, bro. Like, I probably was, like, once in a blue moon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So I want to also talk, so let's talk about like those 16 years, right? Did those, you served how many years on when you were still waiting, pending, your case was pending? How many years was that? Did they count that part
Oh
of
yeah,
your
they
16?
counted it. Yeah, they counted it.
Okay,
They
so
counted-
really-
I think they counted what I was down from 2011 to 2015. They gave me, I think, 4. Yeah,
Damn.
4 years. They gave me my time served.
Okay.
I
Which
think
is
they
a
took-
good thing in this case, right? That's
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Because if
man,
you
what?
would have been fighting it from home on bail, in that case, it's a bad thing because
Right.
now you don't get that time you were out. That doesn't count. You had to be in custody.
Right.
Yeah.
But what if you really are innocent? You just fucking gave him 4 years.
Yeah,
for
that's
no
fucking
reason.
Exactly.
crazy. That's what trips me out too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about once you already knew, you already knew what was gonna happen.
So
when
you
were
take a
gonna get
deal.
out. Yeah, you
16
take the deal.
years. You got 4 years and some change of credit.
Yeah, I didn't want to take it, to be honest. I was trying to go back to trial. I was actually in the midst of going back to my second trial.
Wow.
Yeah, because they was acting like they didn't want to offer me nothing. But in my head, I'm like, once I heard, like, I got 8 not guilty and 4 guilty in my favor, I was like, man, what? We finna go back to trial.
Yeah.
And then my lawyer sat me down. He was like, look, man, trial, just because it goes good the first time don't mean it's always going to be good the second time. You got to think about it. Like, what they do is they send out letters to certain people who don't know nothing about anything to come and judge you on an event that transpired. So you gotta gamble with your life with people you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? It's like I ain't gonna lie, prior to trial, jury selection was the worst. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta really listen to what these people talking about. Like, man, like, where'd you come from? Because you get to ask questions.
I've seen that shit like on Lincoln Lawyer. Like the lawyers will ask, right? Like, where are you from? What are your interests? What are your thoughts on so and so type shit to kind of like break them down, and they'll be able to select like a few to take out, right?
Yeah.
To in their
Yeah,
favor, right?
Your lawyer gets a certain amount, and the
Right.
DA gets a certain amount.
And they be doing like tactical shit, right?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
they be like,
'Cause you want to find
all
out
right, this and
you
this,
know,
like,
for instance, like if I'm going to trial, you know what I mean, I don't want nobody who's racist in my trial.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there was a few cats, like certain people say that just to get out of jury selection, but there was one dude that came, I'll never forget, and he just said, can I have a sidebar? And like, everybody else step out, and he was just like, I don't like black people.
Oh, he was just
Yeah.
trying to get
He
out
was
of
trying to get
fucking
up out of
jury
there.
trial. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
You
Like-
say something like that, he can't be on there, so he gets to go right back to work as opposed
Exactly.
to losing 7 days or whatever.
Oh, shit.
They'll
Yeah,
say
I
some
mean-
outrageous shit. I've had people be like, if it's a murder case, my uncle got murdered. I'm biased. I can't fucking be in this.
Straight up,
Yeah.
yeah.
Then you don't want to ask certain questions that's gonna like Like, say for instance, if I know he might be in my favor.
Yeah, don't say
You don't want
something.
to ask too many questions that the DA is gonna be like, all right. So for instance, how'd you grow up? You know what I'm saying? Where you come from? You know, that type of shit. And like based on his answer, he might be like, oh, he might be in my favor because he know a couple of the homies. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, kick him out. The DA be like, oh no, get him out of here. He's too favorable of, you know, them.
Yep.
And just kick you out.
That's crazy, yo. That's
I remember it was a chick from my school, man. I'll never forget. It was a chick
On
from
the
my
stand?
school on the stand. Yeah, I'll never forget. She was bad too. But
That
I
part.
see her, I'm like,
said
oh,
that part.
hey,
I can imagine.
hey, especially being
Being
down
in the
for so
county,
long.
like, what?
I'm
I'm
like,
looking at
she
any
came, she walked, and I'm just like, oh my god, damn, you got thick as a motherfucker.
Oh
and I'm
my
looking.
gosh.
You know, you've been down for a
Yeah,
while, so it's
shit.
like, man, what? And she see me, and she's like, I'm like, oh, don't do that. You know what I mean? Because you can't act like you know me. 'Cause-
Yeah.
Man, sure enough, she said, she was like, oh yeah, I go to Valencia. And he was like, Valencia High? Wait, you said you go where? Valencia High, which is a high school I went to.
Right.
So you knew something
I'm
rang.
like, fuck, bro, this nigga gonna figure it out. And he's like, he's like contemplating. He's like, wait. Your Honor, can you get her out of here?
Wow.
Fuck, bro. I'm like, that's a for sure. Like, go.
She's like, fuck. Damn.
Right? I was like, oh my god. You know what I mean? I'm gonna make sure I have my little sister sign on my Facebook and, you know, hit her up and see what's going on. But nah, bro, it was bad. It was bad. Jury selection was vicious. So it was like, you know, you got all of this stuff for trial, and I'm preparing for the next one, and then, you know, my lawyer finally came to me. He's like, hey, I got a deal. I'm like, all right, what is it? He's like, 16. I'm like,
What'd you say? With half?
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, 16 years. I'm like, nah, bro. I'm like, that's out. He's like, what you mean? I'm like, I'm not taking those 16 years. I'm like, that shit was in my favor. I got 8 not guilty, 4 guilty. You know what I'm saying? So that's in my favor.
Right.
They can't sit here and try to, nah, I'm not. He's like, look, man, I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. So it took me like a cool 2-3 weeks to figure it out. I just remember praying over it. I'm like, look, God, don't let me make the wrong decision. If you feel like this is the decision I need to take, then make sure I take it.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to court. I'm at court. My lawyer come to me. He's like, what's up? You ready to take it? I'm like, nope. He's like, all right. So I'm sitting in the court tank, and I'll never forget. They don't even allow people to come see you, right? My little sister walks in there. And she was like, what's up, bro? I'm like, what's going on? She's like, nothing. We just chopping it up. I don't get to see my little sister like that, you know? So I'm just enjoying the time with her for like a cool 10, 15 minutes. Like, we just chopping it, bro. We're not even talking about the case. Like I love my little sister. Like,
You're trying to catch up, like,
know?
on the
I know,
shit.
that's what I'm thinking. How crazy that must feel.
Right.
We super close.
On a court date.
You know? So
Yep.
then she asks me, mind you, my dad was telling me to take it. You know, my mom's fiance was telling me to take it. Everybody's telling me to take it, and I'm just like, nah, you know. And my bro Malik, he's like, man, he's like, it's on you. I'm rocking with you. You know, whatever you feel like, it's on you. So when my little sister came in there, she asked me, she's like, so what you think, bro? I'm like, what you talking about? She's like, the deal. Like, what you think? I'm like, shit, I ain't taking nothing. You feel me? I'm a G. I'm a gangster. We ain't doing none of that. Taking no motherfucking 16. Like, nah, it's out. And she was like, oh, okay, that's right. And I'm like, mom's talked to you about it? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what she want? She's like, she wants you to take it. I'm like, okay. What about dad? She's like, yeah, he was saying take it too, you know, fire camp. I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna be able to do no fire camp. She like, yeah. I'm like, it dawned on me, like, damn, I didn't even ask my little sister, you feel me?
Was she okay?
Want.
Damn.
I'm like, hey, what you want? What you think? And she was like, honestly, bro, I want you to take it. And she already crying, you feel me? And I'm like, damn. I'm like, man, in my head, I'm not even saying nothing, I'm just.
I can imagine that as soon as she said that, you inside in your head were like, something sank. Like,
that's my little sister. Like, whatever she
Right.
say, go, bro. Like, we've been through everything together. So, like, you know, it's nothing I won't do for her. So, like, when she said it, it was like, you know, I asked her, I'm like, why? And she was like, because I don't want to see what happened to Tay Tay and Eric happen to you. I was, my cousin and my bro was on my case. I didn't tell y'all about that. When I got my hung jury, my cousin and my bro, my brother, got found guilty. You know what I'm saying?
They got washed up.
Yeah. They're finna come back though. But you know, it was like, man, they ain't had nothing to do with none of this shit. You know? And like I said, if the DA paints a picture, you know, it's in trial, it's about who paints the picture the best. You know, I'll never forget that day. You know what I mean? Because when I looked at my cousin, you know, they read my cousins off first. And once we heard guilty, he just looked at me like this. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at him, and the first thing I'm thinking about is my auntie. I'm just like, damn, bro, what's gonna happen? So my heart beating, I'm just like, hey, just don't look back, fool. Like, you feel me? Just be strong. He like, I'm just hearing guilty again.
Like on all counts that they're just naming out.
And he just, fuck. So you feel me? He keep moving, and then finally he just get up. He get up. He's like, I'm out of here. And the judge is like, hey, no, man. He's like, sit down. Mr. Edwards, sit down. He's like, man, what the fuck? He's like, y'all already said guilty. I got life. Like, what y'all want me to sit here for the rest of the counts?
Yep.
Like, that's one charge carries life. What I'm supposed to just sit here? Like, that's out. So he's trying to leave, you know. And I tell him, like, bro, relax. You feel me? Mom's is back there. You feel me? Like, relax. He's like, man, boom. So he comes back and he sits back in the chair. And he's just slouching. He's just like,
Yeah. All hope
and he
lost.
just start crying. And I'm looking at him, and once I see him start crying, I look back, you feel me, and my auntie was right there. And man, she went ballistic. She was just like, he's only a baby, he's only a child. How could you guys do this to him? This is wrong. She just started screaming out of nowhere, you know? And then the judge was like, Miss Sonya, I'm gonna have to tell you to calm down. That's when me, him, and my brother went ballistic. What the fuck you mean, calm down, nigga? I mean, you just gave him life. You feel me? What do you mean? And then he kicked my auntie out the courtroom, and we super went ballistic. He said, I'm gonna have to order Miss Marilyn out of the courtroom. So when she leaves, you can still hear her screaming. You feel me? She's outside of the courtroom. You feel me? You can still hear her screaming.
Damn.
So it's like, bro, he can't go over there and hug his mom. You feel me? He's cuffed to the chair. He just got found guilty on all charges. You know what I'm saying? I got a hung jury, but I can't celebrate that shit. You got my cousin right here, you got my brother right here, you feel me? Who both just got found guilty. You know what I'm saying? And my brother Tay, he's just looking at me like, I'm like, man, what you want to do? You want to get up out of here? He's like, yeah. So we went crazy in the court. Just like, man, fuck you, everything you stand for. You ain't never been on our side from day one. This and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And they just kicked us out. And they ended up bringing us back in the courtrooms one by one, you know? And that was it. So, like, you know, when my little sister brought that up, it was like, damn, you know, I ain't think about that. But, like, at the same time, I was just like, man, it's my little sister. If there's anybody that God had used to convince me to take this deal, it's her. So I was like, you know, after she gave me the explanation, I'm like, all right, tell them bring the papers. And, you know, they go bring the papers, and I signed for it. And it was funny because originally it was 16, bro. It was 16, bro. They come back and like, all right, 16 to 8 months. Don't worry about the 8 months. I said, where the 8 months come from? I wanted to fight that and be like, nah, fuck that. Nigga, we finna go to trial. Fuck that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like,
How y'all gonna renege on that 16? Huh?
Nah, especially like, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, bro, you know, I mean, the reality of the situation, bro, I'm not innocent. You know, you got people who go to jail and like, you know, they fighting for their innocence to a point to where they don't even believe they guilty. Like, bro, you know what you did. Like, I know what I did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's when you have to like be real with your situation, bro. Like, you know, if that kid didn't get on the stand, then I wouldn't have. I probably would have been one of them delusional individuals with a.
Do you think that happens naturally? Because I went through it. A lot of people that I was busted with go through it. You start believing your bullshit. You know what I mean? You start believing that you didn't do it. You know, because that's the story you're telling them. That's kind of crazy. You touched on that because I think that's the truth. A lot of people do that, man. It's just a natural. You think it's like something we fall back on?
Yeah, because I mean, like, you know, when you're incarcerated, your whole objective is to be optimistic and hopeful.
Right.
You know, you like if you're not gonna walk around and be like, I'm guilty.
Right.
Guilty.
Yeah.
You're fighting life. You don't want to get banged. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, like me, I'm reading the Bible and I'm just reading about having faith. You know what I'm saying? I'm reading about, you know, certain individuals. You know, how they have faith and, you know, things worked out in their favor. So, like, I'm trying to believe on the aspect of having faith, but at the same time, that comes with you actually believing that you're innocent in a way. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I said once that kid got on the stand, and it was like, damn, bro, you know what I mean? Like, he's seen everything that happened. Like, bro, you're guilty as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, how foolish, how selfish are you to really, like, to even... You know, like, to even go about it that way, you know? And, it's, you know, you got certain people who come through. Like, I've been in the county, bro. There's certain people who come through, you know, like, and they carry that shit. Like, man, nigga, yeah, I did that type shit. You know what I mean? Like, this is the lifestyle you choosing, so obviously people going to, you know, indulge in it. But, like, me, nah, it was never a point where it was like, man, nah, dog, like, I realized I was wrong, for sure.
Got you. It was not like, oh, I did this. I didn't really do this, and you know, trying to wiggle out of it.
Even if you did this and did that, bro, like, like it don't matter. Like, it don't change. Like, you played a role in this man dying. It don't matter if I was, you feel me? It don't matter if I just pushed the dude. You feel me? Like, bro, I played.
There's a role.
There's a role, bro. This dude died. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So. Regardless, nigga, you played a role in this man losing his fucking life. Even whether you pulled the trigger or not, nigga, you're just as guilty. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, bro. You could have stopped it. You could have, you know what I mean? Whatever. So you're just as guilty. You know what I mean? It don't matter if you pulled the trigger or not, bro. Like, this is a little kid who watched his father get killed in front of him trying to stop somebody who was robbing somebody. Like, he didn't even know the guy. You know what I'm saying? So like, come on, bro. Like,
it sucks. I'm selfish. All I can help but think is, like, I'll never get involved. You know, we're taught to just, that shit ain't about, ain't none of my business. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, you got certain.
That's something they teach in the hood. I'm just saying that. My neighbor gets killed every night. I don't look down. I don't nothing. She's
I'm not gonna lie.
You know, I look this way.
It,
you know,
it's like,
hey,
having that kind of selfishness takes a lot, bro. Like, to just be able to, like, I give it to you, like, real shit. Like,
in the morning they're up hugging each other, and I'm like, oh, y'all were just killing each other.
Like, we
That's
try
why I
to
don't
peer
say
pressure
shit,
T,
you know?
like, let's go do this, let's go get a bite. He'd be like, nah, and he puts his foot down. That's it. And that takes a lot, because a lot of people can't do that nowadays. Even through this shit.
Minding your own business is, you know, is difficult for certain people. Like, for me in the county, that was difficult, based on, like, certain people that I knew. Like, you know, like situations like going to the court tanks. If you ask anybody about the LA County, man, the court tank is where all the fights happen. That's where everything transpired. I could be going to court, bro, and hearing about somebody squabbling my brother. Oh, man, damn. Now, I got the option to either act like I didn't just hear that and go to court and, you feel me, do my thing, or just be like, hey, bro, who you talking? Like, what happened? All right, we got to get out now because you got out with my brother.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You would hear that, huh? Like your brother getting down and you walking in the same tank.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
So,
going
into the so you mentioned the trial, and then you got your time and your experience through court.
How much time did you do total?
10
flat?
10 years.
Okay, so you
Damn.
ended up getting out earlier than you intended to. So
Absolutely.
how did that happen?
MCRP.
That's a year? You get off a year when you're on MCRP?
Well, honestly, my release date is in 2023. So, like,
Okay.
I guess they extended it, but originally it was like if you had a year left, you know, you qualify for MCRP. I never thought I was gonna qualify based on my charges. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I since I've been incarcerated, I've been heard about people going to MCRP, but I for sure never thought it was gonna happen to me. And then one day they called me and they're like, "Hey, you feel me? You qualify for MCRP?" I'm like, "Nah, you got the wrong one."
Who called you? The counselor?
Yeah.
And they're like, what? MCRP? Who? I thought that it was the robbery guys, the drug addicts, the...
Nah,
you know, a lot of times none of that stuff counts for violent offenders.
Yeah, exactly.
Unfortunately, so.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, you kind
Yeah.
of look at it in that sense. You know what I mean? Like, okay, nah, I got murdered. I got voluntary manslaughter and 4 attempted murders on my record. I for sure don't qualify.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And when he came and he was like, hey, you qualify? I'm like, man, what? He's like, yeah. I said, nah, you got the wrong one. And I left. And he was like, hey, Higgs, come back. I'm serious. I'm like, never. And he had the paper right there, and I signed the paper. I'll never forget because I told my mom. It was on her birthday. I got that news on October 19th. So.
What's up with all why is all this news happen on your birthdays, huh? That's crazy.
Well, nah, it happened on her birthday.
Oh, okay.
Nah, hey, you get good news, you get some bad news.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that trip to LA County wasn't no, you know what I mean, good news and shit. But
So just for the audience too, because there's a lot of viewers that don't know what MCRP is.
it's minimum is it minimum rehabilitation? No.
I guess what is it though?
Yeah.
Like what is
minimum
it?
custody program, basically. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like a rehab for, you know, drug addicts, violence. You know what I mean? People, for you to get your shit right. It's a transitional home, basically. It helps
Right.
you transition back into society. That's the whole idea of them calling it a halfway house. It's like, all right, you're halfway into society now. You feel me? They help you go about getting a job. They help you, you know, find housing and stuff like that. Well, not housing. You're housed there, but
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
So you get out, not really, because even right now you still MCRP. How you feeling? How were your first days? What was that? How is it right now? How do you find yourself?
When I first got there, it was a blessing. Just looking out the window and seeing cars and people. You know,
Crazy,
like
right?
for 10 years, I've like seen nothing but barbed wire and desert. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got out and the first thing they did was put me in a room where I got it's like a view right by MacArthur Park, and you could just see like, you know, the trees, the buildings, people, cars, like just like simple shit. Y'all probably don't understand that, but like, you know, when you down, you appreciate like the small shit.
Anything.
You know what I'm saying?
Smells.
Once you get out, it's like, damn, like I can actually smell the leaves. Like it's like a big ass tree right
That's
there.
crazy.
It's like, damn, like I'm appreciative of little shit like that. Like, and then when I went to the DMV to get my ID and my license, that's when it was like, damn, bro, I wasn't even like, you know, usually you drive on a bus and shackles and like, cause I went to Mississippi while I was incarcerated too.
Oh, you hit the 3 yards over there?
Yeah, out of state. You know, when you go over there, they cuff you with your wrist and to your, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And once I got out, I stepped out the car and I just looked and it was like, damn, this is weird. I felt weird at first because it's like people walking by me and people like, hey, I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, it's like you kind of got like a sense of anxiety. You know, I felt blessed, bro. Honestly, I felt blessed. Once I realized I was blessed is like once I got on the phone and I FaceTimed my mom, my little sister. You know what I'm saying? You know, in prison, when you got a phone, you know, you gotta hide that motherfucker. You can't have phones in prison.
Count time, walks.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I got out and I FaceTimed my mom, my little sister, and my dad had another son. You know what I'm saying? He's like a year and 4 months now. And
Damn, that's a baby, huh?
yeah, I seen him on FaceTime for the first time.
All right, so you came home, you're out, you're a part of this MCR program, which is basically you're fucking home, but you're not home, right? Because you still monitored or whatever.
Yeah, you gotta remind yourself. You gotta remind yourself daily. Like, you know, you can become sensitive towards things after you had it for so long. You know.
Yeah.
So I had to remind myself occasionally to be grateful because like you start thinking about like, damn, now that I'm out, I want to be out. You know, not like I'm on an ankle monitor, but like you can't get passes to go see your family or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your parents can, people who are approved can come see you on the weekends, but other than that, man, this program is specifically for you to get a job and maintain some money until you're actually able to leave. So that's what I've been doing, just going to work and coming back, going to work, coming back, going to work, coming back. That's been my whole transition from February up to now. You know what I mean? My biggest thing is just been making sure that I stay focused on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I rap too. So like I've been writing. I write a whole lot of music. So I just been waiting to get out so I can get in the studio and do everything I'm supposed to do. You know, but I'm blessed though. Like I thank God the fact that I've been able to come home and, you know, find like a solid little job and get certifications and things that help me, you know, advance. You know, it kind of puts you ahead, you know?
It does. It does. I tell people when I got out, a spot didn't necessarily give me a job, but it put me in the mindset.
Exactly.
Right. So I went out there, I hustled, I did everything you could think of, got my first little job, gave those people whatever they asked me for. They gave me little gift cards every now and then. Other than that, I was like, cool, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, even if for whatever, you know, that's kind of how you have to, because it is what it is. It puts you in that mindset. It lets you kind of know, like, okay, shit, a resume. Okay, damn, I didn't really think about a resume, you know.
Yeah.
Little things like that, you know. And definitely, like, what are your you know, like your plans? What do you, how do you plan to support yourself? How do you know all those things? All those fucking questions. It's a lot of questions.
You get
know?
nervous because I know, like, you have to phase up. You know what I'm saying? The program has what's called phase up. So you're there for, I believe, 90 days until you're allowed to get a job. You have to have a certain amount of, you gotta have a certain amount of hours, like, you know, just cleaning up around there, volunteering, and then, you know, once you do that, they're like, okay, we can, we'll have you come up there and they'll interview you and be like, man, what do you plan on doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how have you bettered yourself as an individual? Like, when I went up there, bro, I was up there for like an hour and some change. They like really interviewed me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's good.
You know, to make sure like
the place
they're gonna let you out into society.
Right.
So it's like, you know, they gotta make sure that they're letting the right person out there, which I understand.
Yeah, that makes
and then
sense.
once I phased up, I already had a job lined up. You know what I'm saying? And by the grace of God, I was nervous at first. I was nervous at first. I was like, man, hold up, man. I'm really finna get a job, like a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, so once it happened, I just tackled it. I stayed with it, and that's been my biggest thing. I'm waiting to get out, you know, waiting to like really get out now and take advantage, like how I see myself taking advantage, you know, being appreciative, because I feel like throughout my life I wasn't appreciative. Like, ever since I spoke to my father about, you know, the situation that transpired, I realized, like, damn, if I would have spoken to him years ago about that shit, we probably would have had the relationship that we have now. Like, we like this now. You know what I'm saying?
Good, man. I was gonna
That's
ask
real
that. I'm
good.
glad you said that, man.
Yeah, we super close. And my little brother, he bad as hell. But you know what I mean, every time I see him, he lights up. You know what I'm saying? It's better relationships with my brothers, with my sisters, and my siblings. You know, like when I was incarcerated, I felt like nobody was there. Like you know, felt like they should have. You know, like when you incarcerated, you want letters, you want support, you want visits, you want people to show that they there, and like you don't think about, oh man, these people busy, these people got this going on, you know. And like I said, it's that sense of entitlement, you know, and being selfish and feeling like somebody else's life should be on pause just based on the fact that, you know, you incarcerated, you want them to come help you, you know. And shoot, I got out and I spoke, and I know how to communicate now aside from just reacting. Like before, I just used to, you know, say whatever, how I felt it, and that's what it was. But now, like, I'm more, like, considerate. I'm still, like, socially awkward when it comes, like, to, like, being out and shit, because it's, like, I can be around certain people, and it's, like, when it's a lot of people around, I'm, like, more focused on, like, the outsiders than just connecting one-on-one or speaking to somebody.
100. That's one of the hardest things, even to this day. I find if somebody starts having a conversation too close to me, just for me wanting to be aware of my surroundings, I fucking stop paying attention, and I'm just, what's happening over here? Why are they, you know? And then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. I was listening, but you know.
Exactly. It's difficult, and it's oh man, it's messing up a lot of stuff that I've been trying to do, like as far as like, you know, making. My bad.
No, you good.
Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Nah, you know, just like even speaking to a woman, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm trying to make the attempt to engage in a conversation, but at the same time I'm more focused on everybody else when they come around. It's like, damn, now I'm looking, and you feel me? Like even like when I'm on a phone, you feel me? And I hear a voice, I'm like, oh shit, who's back? Like I'm
Right.
Like, nigga, it make you feel like you crazy or something. And I'm like, I've been talking to people about that, and they're like, man, that's just, you know, you got to get used to just being out. That's a part of, you know, being down and incarcerated. And like, you question what you say. You know what I mean? Because being incarcerated, bro, what you say, matters. Like, you can say something and something can pop off. You know what I'm saying? So you want to avoid that. You want to make sure if it's worth going for it, you want to make sure it's worth it. And honestly, none of that shit is worth it. No. All of that shit is backwards. All of that shit is backwards, bro. Period. So
all right. So to wrap it up, what would you tell, I guess, a youngster out there right now, knowing what you've been through, and it can be in regards to anything, learning about yourself, the game ain't it,
Man,
if you had to drop one or a little one-liner, two-liners, what would you
have wished someone told you?
Right.
It was one saying, somebody had told me, my boy Glenn Wagner, my boy G-Mac from Mob Power, he said, once you know your value as a man, you avoid putting yourself in harm's way. That stuck out to me because nobody puts diamonds in the safe for no reason. You feel me? You're not just gonna put a can in the safe.
Can
of
soda or something. Yeah.
You putting diamonds in there because they valuable. You want to protect them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know yourself. You got to look back and go into like the details of your life. A lot of people run from their past, and that's what I was doing. I was running from a lot of things that I felt I couldn't handle. You get what I'm saying? Once I actually faced them and actually sat down and looked at it and been like, embraced them emotions that came with it and took it in, I realized like, okay, I'm taking a step towards being a better me. Cause ain't nobody finna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Nobody perfect. No. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I tell people, like, when they be like, man, where you from, bro? I'm from the Valley. I'm a Valley boy. You know what I'm saying? But the transition into becoming a better man is knowing where you've been. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what you've been through and embracing that shit. And you know what I mean? Like, don't run from that shit. Like, the shit I went through with my dad, you know what I'm saying? The shit I went through, like, just in a foster home, all of this stuff, like, I embraced a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
right. Yeah.
It's made me who I am. You feel me? God, most importantly. You feel me? I give all glory to God, but it takes a lot to sit back and really reflect. You know what I mean? That shit be dangerous sometimes. That's why people don't do it. They don't like that shit. They don't like...
It's hard on your ego as a man, to have to come to those realizations that you may not be as strong as you think you are.
Yeah.
But, you definitely have to come to terms with it to make yourself a better man,
There was a self-help group I was in called Alternative to Violence. And it capitalizes on your experiences, like the experience that may have changed you. You know what I'm saying? And like, for me, I realized I felt powerless because of my father. So once I left outside of the house, I can find means to gain my power. You know what I'm saying? But once I come back, I'm powerless again. I gotta accept that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was doing. Okay, you know what? All right, Dad, you got this right now, but once I leave, I'm doing whatever. And then come back and just, you know what I mean? And all it did was make me suppress my emotions and become the individual that I was. So once I realized that, you know what I mean, and I told my father what was going on and all of that stuff, I was able to become more humble and, like, relaxed and, like, rejuvenated, to be honest. Because when you carrying weight, bro, you're drained the majority of the time, So embrace your emotions, man. Embrace your past and look at it, you know what I mean, in order to, figure out why you've been through the things you've been through, you know what I mean? Because it's not a bad thing, bro. You know what I mean? Like, everything you go through makes you who you are, and that's the blessing in you being you. Everybody's story is unique. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not you, you not me. You know what I'm saying? What's made you is why you're you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to be like the next person. Nah, bro, your story is your story, bro.
Right.
And it's just as beautiful as the next.
Just as beautiful as the next one.
Man, yo, for real, like, this has probably been one of the most craziest, like, stories I've ever heard. And for real, like, I want to give it to you because, like, I was saying it earlier before we got to cut off real quick, but I've never heard someone hold so much weight I hear stories about people, you know, just going through the system and then out, not going through foster youth, or, you know, not having the parents, like, you know, fighting and stuff like that. I've heard so many stuff, but just sprinkled everywhere. But hearing that just one person had to go through it all, that shit hurts, man. You almost had me crying a little bit every now and then. No cap, because I start relating it to myself and realizing the thing is, the dad part, that like the way that you manned up and had the balls to speak to your dad, the man that you talked about power and everything, like that trips me out, because I feel like I'm still sometimes living some kind of situation like that, especially within my own family. And I'm trying to suppress my own shit, but like sometimes it's better off thinking about it, man, and having it come out. Like, for real, I really respect you, and we really appreciate you being on this podcast, bro, because it's not just us, bro. It's for the people out there listening to the story, man. Y'all going through the same shit, man. My boy went through it, but look at him now. He's making it happen. He found faith. He opened himself up. Sometimes you got to be vulnerable, y'all. Sometimes you got to be vulnerable and let yourself out.
Absolutely.
For sure, trying to get a part 2 once you're out, man. Once you're out, we're going to get a part 2 to follow up in 2023.
That's good.
For sure. Like, definitely a couple months down the line, once you're out, definitely, like, where you at now? Let's figure what we know.
Exactly.
Nah,
definitely,
man.
man.
I'm with that.
Well, we appreciate my boy, yo, T and Yak. We out. Thank you for listening to Retro Network Podcast. We'll catch y'all soon, yo.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, bro.
No problem.